everyone. It's really lovely to be back here again on episode 3 of Soulful Living. This week's program is about raising your frequency, the relationship you have with yourself and with others. Ways to help you raise your frequency are with exercise, diet, sleep, binaural music, and of course, meditation. Essential oils can also be useful because they have their value in frequency. And today's podcast, we will finish with a very lovely meditation. To raise your frequency is an art. It's an art in discovering all those areas within you that may be trapped in the cells in a sea of emotions, ranging from dark to light. This podcast will include the meditation at the end so that you can calm your mind. We look at these emotions which have a mixed blessing. The lighter emotions represent happiness, joy, compassion. However, the dark emotions cause your emotions to be very heavy because they carry resentment, fear, anger, jealousy, all those darker ones that you know all about. If these emotions are not processed, they turn in on your body. In spiritual terms, we practice love and compassion. To lighten up your emotions, as any time we hold on to them, they turn on us, they manifest in pain somewhere in the body and can lead to sickness as well. Let's take a look at which situations you may find yourself in, where you find you may be holding these dark emotions. Are you aware which areas they are, where you find yourself coming up with a fear or an anger? How do you handle them when they surface? What have you noticed about your behavior and the way that you organize yourself in those times? Do you have particular behavioral patterns that show up at that time, that repeat itself over and over again? How do you deal with it? Do you go into a mood, or do you find yourself not talking? It may be helpful to write the situation down on a piece of paper, because this takes it away from your mind and onto the paper where you can observe it. Try it and see what happens. Now, it might be necessary to share these emotions with a counsellor or with a psychologist or someone of your choosing to process these situations, to see which way you can acknowledge them within you and what you can do to resolve it. We're looking for resolution here so that we're able to take an action on it. This may be challenging for you, I know, but you do have the chance to find out more resolving solutions to them. It is life's experiences to present these different situations, and that which ones place us in these challenging moments. But they are also there as lessons for us so that we can learn by them. Let's take for an example, some people are into, holding on just to emotions, and they act on their emotions, and some act on their mind. They analyze what they need to do and they're weighing it up. Actually, the balance of the two between the head and the heart is a better way of resolving it. So it's neither one way or the other. It needs to have a balance. So Other kinds of situations are experienced in relationships where there's a resistance between two persons. They're really stuck about their own points of view, and they may have a lot of emotions coming through because of the repeated pattern of that, with them. And this conflict could have been going on for a long time. We do have to accept that we're not able to make another person change their mind or come out of it that easily. But what we can do is to change ourselves. We can act on this situation differently to see if we can find another response from the other person that is more amicable. And if this is really not possible, then you need to create boundaries and you have to take some form of other action. Otherwise, you're going to find yourself in trouble with all of that. Boundaries are very important when it comes down to these things. And you do find your frequency being lowered greatly when you keep having them. So we need to weigh up what the situation is causing and leveling the underlying emotions, sitting at the root to see what is happening, how we think and how we feel. Have you noticed that when talking with certain persons, when you leave them or they leave you, you feel really low? Your energy seems to be absolutely drained. Well, you have to know that there's something not right there. And maybe you have to find out if it's good to mix with that person, or if there's something that between you that needs to be resolved in order that you can find a better way of being. You might even find that they are weighed down by you. It depends what's going on there. Resolutions are the answers, but we need to take our own action to protect ourselves as well. So we often find resolutions through meditation. When we allow the mind to calm down and we can go behind our mind and just view a situation, we can screen it along without any judgment and see what is it that needs to change. We're just observing it. We're not making any movement about it at the time of the meditation, just to see if you can get more clarity on it. Every challenge that you receive, you have to be grateful for it. It does teach us to act differently if we so choose to do so. And we have to have the ability to change as well. On the brighter side of the coin, when we experience happy moments, we embrace this time and in being appreciative of these lovely moments. And really, one should call upon them every day to bring them into our life so that we have very happy moments. More helpful tips in raising your frequency are found by regularly listening to binaural music. Walking helps, running, being in the greenery with nature, looking at beautiful flowers and beautiful trees, hugging a tree, for instance, meditating, laughing, finding ways that make you happy, and practicing something like yoga helps, or it might be qigong or tai chi, and also tapping your points is a very good way to help release emotions and get your energy to move well. Now, all of these are helpful, and we shall look now at the next part. Do you sleep well? What are your sleeping habits like? I often hear people not sleeping well. So a good night's sleep is the only way to recover. But whilst we sleep, the emotions surface if we wanting to clear our minds. Our consciousness keeps it there through the sleeping hours and wakes us up, and we're recording all kinds of dreams and all sorts of things that may have been going on during the day or during that time. So it's really good before sleeping to do a routine of having a nice warm bath or a shower, not watching television or being on your mobile, listening to some binaural music and meditation. You can then put oils on you as well, which I'm going to demonstrate for you in a moment as well. So a good sleep keeps you fit and healthy so that when you waken up in the morning, you feel bright and energetic, ready for the challenge of the day. There are situations for some people who have pain in their body, especially when they lie down. And so if this is one of your issues, it's important really to have a look to see what is going on in that time. You may need to do some movement before you sleep. You may need to massage those areas to see if you can help them calm down, or go and see a doctor or practitioner, whatever it is that wherever you go, to see what you can do about it. Because again, you do need to have harmony when you're sleeping. Your home is where you can relax. So there are certain things you need to have in your home to be relaxing. And one of them is, do you have clutter? If there's clutter around, remove it. Start to minimize yourself. Start to, formulate, give it to the charity shops, do different things to declutter yourself, and have healthy plants around you that are bringing you peace as well. Plants bring you energy, and music, of course, and an ambience where you feel that you can unwind. Very important. It's a pleasure to keep one's home clean and tidy. You feel very good after you've done this. Other points to acknowledge are with our connection to the solar system. We are affected by the planets. Since we are made up with nearly 80 or 90% of water, and we all acknowledge the tides and the moon. So when we have a full moon, the tides rise to a peak. And then when we have a new moon, interestingly, they go to an even higher peak. So you can imagine the pull that we have in our own bodies from these contacts with various planets. So depending on the person, when we have the full moon, some people become quite violent, whilst others are quite amorous, and it all depends on the person. There were times in the past when technology wasn't as good as it is right now. And those people were able to tell you what the weather was like. They could tell by the birds, signals of the birds, the way they sung, the way they made their sounds, they knew. And nowadays we rely, of course, on the technology. Now, in those days, and in fact, even now, you can notice some changes in your body with the weather. So for some people, did you notice that you get a pain in one of your injuries that you've got, if you've got injuries, or it could just be a pain in the leg or a knee or something in one of the joints, and then suddenly it starts to rain, and then the pain goes away afterwards, and you think, oh gosh, I'm like a signal box. It's raining. It's really funny, but that's what does happen. Just notice it for yourself next time. Now, let's look at the aromas. Whilst doing your meditation, you could use a mixture of essential oils to inhale, which raise your frequency levels. Essential oils are like grapefruit and cedarwood and geranium bourbon, for instance, is a wonderful aroma. You just mix it with 2 or 3 mils of organic sesame oil or rapeseed oil, mix it together and leave it there for about 5 minutes so that it blends nicely. Take the aroma and now you lift it up and you just massage it into your hands, the whole lip of the fluid of the oils, and take it over your head like this and all along your arms and underneath and all along, just taking it round. And this greatly gives you a beautiful aroma all around you, uplifting your spirits. So we're going to move on, as I'm going to complete this podcast, and I will be giving you the meditation and signing off here so that you can enjoy it to its utmost. You can find my podcasts on YouTube and on Spotify. I'm wishing you a wonderful week, and I'm looking forward to your comments. Please do leave them. It's very helpful for me to see how you're thinking and what it is you'd like to hear from me for the next ones. That's a very interesting exercise to do, really. So I'm going to ask you, I'm going to sort of say goodbye right now with love and light, but I'm going to ask you to position yourselves in a chair so that you're really comfortable with your feet grounded into the ground. And we're going to start the meditation. And this meditation is aimed to raise your frequency. It is best if you're not driving whilst doing this, and you're sitting exceptionally comfortably in your chair, just rocking from side to side to find your middle, moving forward and backwards to find the middle, settling with your index finger and thumb on your lap, and then gently closing your eyes. As you take a nice deep breath in through the back of your nose, draw the breath upwards from the base of the spinal cord to the top of your head. And then exhale over the head, down the front of the body, so that you are creating a circle around your torso and linking it through back to the spinal cord, repeating that another 2 times. Breathing in through the back of your nose, drawing the breath up through the spinal cord, right up over the head to the front, and taking it down the torso and linking it again all the way round, starting again. Breathing in through the nose at the back, taking the breath right the way up, all the way around the torso, and then going back as you pause into normal breathing. Sense the breath and listen to its rhythm as the mind begins to waft. Thoughts come in and thoughts go by, one by one. As thoughts come in, thoughts go by. As you go deeper and deeper, imagine you are at the bottom of the steps of a mountain that has a golden temple at the top. You begin to climb the steps of the mountain until you arrive at the top. where there is a plateau and which leads you to the pathway at the entrance of the Golden Temple. You make your way along this pathway, surrounded with beautiful cedar trees in their gentle aromas, which float into your olfactory nerves, giving you an uplifting feeling. You arrive at the Golden Gate, which opens out for you to enter the grounds of the temple, and follow until you arrive at its entrance. You pause for a moment and observe the wonderful view around the temple, high above the ground, taking in all that is. Inhale this fresh mountain air into your lungs and recall your intention. Hear your body vibrate in this new invigorating energy. You enter the Golden Temple, where you find the sun's rays glistening in through the windows and through the dome with beautiful shades of amethyst light and rose pink light and golden hues, with luminous light pouring in and streaming down through the crown of your head in gentle spirals, rotating down in a right direction, going down through the central column of your body. Sip in this beautiful energy. Drink its essence in the luminous light. Absorb this vibrancy through every cell in your body. You are filled in all the wondrous light rays. Remain in this light until you become this light, as your frequency rises 1,000-fold. When you feel complete, begin to bring yourself down from the mountain out of the Golden Temple, down the pathway you came through before. And I'm going to count you 5 numbers so that you open up again into your physical body. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Begin to enter into your physical being, bringing with you your new vibrancy. Sense your hands and your feet once more. Become aware of your space, pondering in your thoughts, in love and in light, peace.